The global context of America's first industrial revolution, late 1700s to mid-1800s, while the United States was beginning its first industrial revolution in the late 1700s, the world's industrial leader was Britain. In fact, the first industrial revolution started in Great Britain around the 1760s, about 30 years before it reached America. Britain had already developed steam engines, textile mills, iron foundries, and railroads. Cities like Manchester and Birmingham were booming with industry, powered by coal and water. In Europe, countries like France, Germany, and Belgium were slower to industrialize. France had a strong artisan and rural economy and faced political upheaval during the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars, late 1700s to early 1800s, which delayed factory development. Belgium, however, was the first country in continental Europe to industrialize, especially in textiles and coal, by the 1820s and 1830s. Germany remained divided into small states but gradually adopted British technology. By the 1840s, parts of Germany, especially the Rhineland, began building factories and railways. In Asia, countries like China and India still had rich traditional economies, but they were not yet industrialized. In fact, India was being colonized by Britain, which led to a decline in its traditional textile industry due to British imports. Japan, still under the Tokugawa shogunate, was largely isolated and had not yet begun modern industrialization. So while Britain led the world and America was catching up, most of the rest of the world was still largely pre-industrial, agricultural, or under colonial influence during the early 19th century. This growing gap would shape global power for the next century.